I'm Christy Bilbrey. After working in a Senate press office, the White House, and corporate, I started my own business and realized none of those experiences taught me how to market myself. Thankfully, I discovered how brand storytelling and strategy could help me easily connect with others, promote my services, and grow my brand. I created the Business That Story Built podcast to help business leaders strengthen the stories we tell ourselves and the stories we tell others. Ready to take your mindset and messaging to the next level? Let's get started. Thanks so much for joining today. Podcasting has continued to grow in its influence. It's become more and more lucrative for businesses and organizations of all types. So today I wanted to talk about how to determine if starting a podcast is right for you or your business. So for one, let's talk about the benefits of having a podcast. One is you are immediately going to come across as an expert. If you have a show on a topic that you're hosting, you will be seen as an expert. And this is going to be helpful because people who find you will listen to you. It's like listening to you on a stage. You just kind of automatically assume this authoritative position, but also search engines. And you're going to show up as someone who speaks about these topics, right? So it's going to lead more people to you. It's going to provide you with more links, and it's going to teach search engines that you are someone who is respected as an authority. Therefore, your sites that you're connected to are going to be received a higher ranking. So that's one. Another really cool benefit of podcasts is that 50% of podcast consumers consider buying from brands that they discover on podcasts. So people really pay attention. I mean, podcasts are a medium where it's not unusual for people to plug into a single piece of content for 30 to 60 plus minutes. And so they are literally hanging on your every word, right? So this isn't somewhere that they are quickly scrolling. If you think about it like TV, you commit to shows, right? You don't just, watch one show one time and live your life that way. I mean, you find topics, stories that interest you, and you commit to them. You want to learn the backstory, get involved with the characters, and how is this going to progress? You get excited to be a part of it. And honestly, it doesn't matter if it's a sitcom, a drama, it could be a news program. It doesn't matter, right? Like there's certain shows that you love to watch. Well, podcasting is really the same. It has a loyal base of followers. So you want to focus on a topic or an area that has people who really care about it. If you're in the business arena, then you are going to focus on a certain topic, a certain industry, something specific that there are a group of people, an audience that really cares about that. They want to know what's going on. They want to be in community with others who care about this. So this can really help grow an audience, and people who are loyal are really looking for how to move forward in this. So if this is your business and you promote what you do, what you offer, product or service, then this is a great place for you to find more qualified leads who actually care about this specific service. So that's another benefit. And then the other is because people are looking for community here, they're likely connected to other people who care about the topic that you cover. And so they're more likely to share your content. Oh, if you checked out this show, you got to check it out. She covers blah, blah, blah. It's fascinating. Or she always has great guests, or whatever it is, whatever your strategy is for your show, but something that's what we love to do. Oh my gosh, you have to check this out. Just like we do a TV show that we love, you have to check this out, right? The other thing that's unique, well, it's becoming more and more popular, but it's very much something that people who listen to podcasts care about, and that is authenticity. So this medium really is where people come to have somebody show up how they really are. And if they are talking about something that makes them frustrated, then that's going to come out. And if it's something that's hilarious, that's going to come out. And that's what people are looking for. There is the element of it's kind of breaking down that wall. So it's like that vulnerability. They want to learn more about a topic and they want to connect with real people in this area. So they are looking for that vulnerability. And this is a great space to share stories, share insights, thoughts, opinions, whether those are popular or controversial. That's what people love about this medium. So it helps people kind of self qualify for if they would be a good fit for you and what you offer. So, this is where if people like your personality, if they're drawn to your perspective on how you approach this and your background, then they're going to listen more and they're going to be more likely to connect with you for whatever it is that you offer. And same for the reverse. If they find, this isn't really my cup of tea, it kind of saves you time with a discovery call to, just have more leads who are a good fit for you coming to you without extra work on your end. So that's definitely something that is important with podcasting. Another benefit of podcasts is guests. Not every show has guests, but if you do have guests, this is a great way to have high-level networking with people that you might not otherwise have a reason to connect with. But if you have a show on a topic that they care about, then this is a great way to provide an introduction to you, to get to know them, open the door for collaboration, other opportunities. There may be prospects who you want to bring in, and this is a great way to get to know them. So you can start to use your creativity and think about what that could look like if you had guests and what type of opportunities that could have for you and for your business. I have a client who she's had her podcast for a little over a year now, and half of her leads each month come from her podcast. And I think that was a big surprise. We thought, oh, there'll be some, but half of her leads every month come from people who listen to her podcast. So this really can be a great lead generation source. Another benefit is that you can get seen as an expert for other opportunities. So beyond just leads and potential guests that you have on your show who you want to talk to, this can also open you up for people to discover you. Like I mentioned, you're going to be showing up more in search engines as an expert in whatever area you're covering. And for people who maybe have other podcasts, they're looking for guests, high quality guests. This is a great way to get discovered by them, which puts you in front of more audiences who care about what you cover. You will also be more likely to get discovered by, it could be media who are looking to interview, maybe get quotes from people who specialize in your area. So it opens you up more to that. It opens you up to event planners looking for speakers at events. So there are a lot of different types of opportunities that can come to you as a result of being a podcast host. Now that we've covered the benefits, let's talk about who should be the host. What types of categories, I guess, would be a good host? One, definitely thought leaders, right? There's a ton of thought leaders who host podcasts. Another is CEOs. This is a really great way to start humanizing your brand, whatever it is that you offer. And depending on the size of your company, you may even have either someone else be the host, or you may have multiple hosts, right? You might have 2 to 3 hosts who share different perspectives inside the company. So one company that has a non-CEO host is Canva. They have a podcast called Design Surfaces, and it's hosted by the head of design. So not by the founder, not by the CEO, but by the head of design. It makes sense for Canva's brand, I think. So, you can think about that. If this is for a brand that's not a personal brand, then who makes sense to be the best voice of the company and what you are hoping to achieve with your show? If you're a solopreneur, this is you, right? You are the face of your brand. If you are a founder, this is you. Let's talk about the types of businesses that make sense to have a podcast. One that I keep mentioning, thought leaders. Thought leaders are great because a lot of times they are able to speak nationally. And I think either having a national or a global audience, that's going to be the best for a podcast. However, there are tons of other businesses that are successful. So if you're not a thought leader, if you are a professional service provider, especially if you have a national or a global audience, this is a great space for you. If you are in the B2B space, this is a great space for you. And products, I don't see as many of physical products. So if it's an online product like a SaaS product, software as a service or something like that, yes, that's a great place. Canva, like I mentioned previously, is a really good example of that. But another one is the Goop podcast. So if you know Gwyneth Paltrow's product line Goop, those are physical products and she has a podcast about them. I mean, I'm kind of cheating on that one because she is a celebrity, so she has that going as well. But there have been an assortment. I saw Blue Apron used to have a podcast. That's a home meal delivery. It's like a meal kit delivery service. So there are other types of businesses where it does make sense. And, you can take a look at some of those and see if you're in that category, if that would make sense for you. The other kind of theme that I keep touching on for types of businesses that make sense are national or global. It's going to be harder if you're a local business because podcasts are distributed all over, right? All over the world. And so heavily in the US, but all over the world. So if you have an amazing base of people who like you on the other side of the country or on the coasts and you're in the middle of the country, it's one thing if you have products and you can ship there. But if you have a local business in your town or city, you really need to drive local traffic. So it may not be the right fit for you to grow this amazing audience when that's not your primary need. There can certainly be tangential benefits to that. Maybe it opens new opportunities to expand your business in different ways. But if you're looking for the way that your business behaves right now and what you're primarily focused on, it may not be the best fit if you are a local business. Overall, my biggest recommendations are go through the strategy on this. It's one thing to think, this sounds amazing. I see other people doing this. I want to jump in because it's work. You have equipment to buy. There's pieces to learn depending on, if you have someone like my firm helping with a lot of those pieces, or if you're going to do it yourself, there's just a little bit of ramp up time. So you really want to make sure this is something that is at least promising and makes sense before you dive in. On the other side of that, I don't want you to think that this is automatically outside of the possibility for you and your business. This could very well be something that can help take you to the next level. I have had to really encourage different clients who were on the fence about this for their business, and it's turned into something really fruitful for them. So I don't want you to think this is too much. Definitely don't get caught up in the tech. That's something that can be learned faster than you think. There are several pieces, but it's kind of like learning to ride a bike or learning to drive a car, right? Initially, you feel like, oh my gosh, there's so much to remember. And then it just becomes like clockwork. So please don't let that be a stumbling block to something that could really help your business and your brand grow. But the main thing is walk through the strategy. If you have a strategist, or I love talking to people about, what their strategies are and finding a strategy that makes sense for them and their business. But that is definitely where I recommend. So think through the benefits, think through who the host might be, if that's you or someone else in your business, the type of business you have, what your goals are, what your plans are, what makes sense for you, and ideally get some outside perspective on that. I hope that helps. Thanks so much for joining. How are you growing your brand? Are you targeting the right people, developing the right relationships, and consistently getting the visibility and credibility that you need to grow your business? Whether you need a plan that's small or large in scale, our PR firm and consulting services can design and implement what your business needs to grow. To schedule a free call and learn how we can partner with you, email Christie@ChristieBilbrey.com. That's CHRISTIE@CHRISTIEBILBREY.com.